Hello and a very warm welcome. As part of the Digital Producer Program, I would like today to show you how to set up a Webex training center call. So just basically creating the link to send to the participant to join the session. So I'm going to do like a step-by-step video that you can review in your own time. And when you are going to try to do it for real, watch a little bit of it, pause it, and then try it. And feel free to use our Google Learning community, our Google Plus Learning community, to ask for any questions. The logging for the ThinkSkills Webex license will be shared separately with you in a different environment. So let's get started. First, I am going to share with you my desktop. Here we are. And it all starts with going online. The email address for the our license, it's thinkskills.webex.com. And when you do that, you enter the login detail that I've shared with you separately. And those login details will actually change on a weekly basis. So just remember to be updated about it. Now, let's schedule a training. I am going to schedule with you session two of the Digital Online Training Producers. So in the topic box, I put session 2, Digital Online. Here we are. Excellent. I can change the session password. Generally, for my own sake, I put something that I can remember easily, like, for example, the day of the training. Here we are. That's something nice and easy. You can generally automatically delete the session after it ends. That's absolutely fine. And you don't have it to send a copy, so don't tick the second box. As a rule, and except otherwise notified by a client, we use voice over IP only. It makes the connection, the audio connection for the participants much easier. If it's mixed up, the other option is to use telephone conferences, and that means that some participants can join with a telephone. And generally, it's quite confusing. These days, most people go to headset, and you can and it's much slicker and much easier for a producer if it's just voice over IP. Always mute the attendees upon entry. You don't know in which environment your attendees are going to be. So they might be in a train station, hopefully not. It's going to be interesting to do a training. They might have dog, or they might have very loud colleagues in an open plan office. So for all of these reasons, it is best to mute the attendees upon entry. It might also be that they don't use a headset like us. They do use built-in microphone, and there might be an echo. It might be an old system, so it can create quite a bit of audio disruption. So as a rule, always mute people upon entry. We can always unmute them when we join the session. Now we set up when the meeting is starting. So you've got a little calendar here. And our next session is on Tuesday the 13th. And I believe it is at 10 o'clock. We're in London. It's a single session, and it is a 2-hour session. You can choose different lengths of time, but it is indicatory. Webex will not stop the session after 2 hours. If you're still on it and still active, it will remain open. So it's just for the email to the participants that state the length of the session. That's the time that you're entering. 2 hours, 2 hours and a half, an hour and a half. That's the time that they will see appearing. It doesn't matter. You can open the session before, or you can extend the length of the session if needed. Recurring single session class is not, it's something that we could do as our session take place on a set day, but it is a little bit of management, so they have to be at a set day and time. So if a client, for example, wants session on some weeks on Tuesdays, but then some week on Fridays, then it will not work. It really have to be 5 sessions on Tuesday and Thursday morning from 9 till 11, for example. So a different time slot that won't work. But it is a very convenient tool for some program. So you can see that on that one, attendees can register for 1 session, and the multiple session course when, like for example for us, it is 1 course. It's happening every Tuesday, so that's where the that you sign up for all of it. We haven't done it because I would like you to practice and set up your own sessions. Therefore, I haven't set up this kind of multiple session for our course, but that could definitely be an option. And schedule irregular session. Each session may be edited separately later. That also could be a very good option for a program, so something to keep in mind. But at the moment, we're going to stick with the basics. 1 single session, 1 link, 1 different link per session. That's pretty much what's going to be issued there. Attendees registration. Normally, we don't touch this. All our attendees as producer comes from other training organizations, so we receive a list of email address, and we would enter the email address of the attendees in this field. So let me show you how it works actually this. So you can enter the email address, that's me, of a participant. Here we are. And that's where it is not necessarily, you can add it in my attendee book or add as an alternate host, but that's not the point. You click on add attendee, and when you've done this bit, you click on the box next to the attendees, or select all the attendees if you've got a list of attendees, and you click invite. So the name of the participants will come up in the box here. Now, if you've got presenters, you do exactly the same thing, and they're going to come up on this box here. You can change the features available. We typically don't do it at this stage. We change the feature available when we open the training session. So because at this stage, we know exactly what the trainer will need. When we set up the link, most of the time, the presentation is not ready, so we're not really clear on what is going to be needed for the training. It is possible to put a URL for the participant to, for example, visit a website, download a document at the end of the session. Here we are, that's done. You can customize the greeting message, it's also a nice touch. It is also possible to have an agenda. It doesn't come out very nicely, so just 2 or 5 bullet points, no more than 5. Very sleek, very brief, because otherwise it is kind of a bit difficult to follow. And now we are going to put a little visual. It's quite nice when it's possible. So for example, the client's logo. It might generally have to be resized because the size accepted are very small, and we'll touch on that point at the end for those of you who don't know how to resize visuals at the end of the course. It's not an essential skill to have. So here we are, digital producer program, and I am putting up the visual, and as you see, I've got 2 sides. I've got a small one here. Here we are. Let's get started. We import the picture. We can add pre-reading course material. But because the emailing system is that will be part of the automated email sent by Webex. But because it is generally an email with a lot of information that people don't read, it is normally advised not to do it at this stage. And send maybe a separate email or a post in maybe a learning group the information that you want to share with the learners. It is possible to add a test. Mostly we don't use it, but it is an option. And now you've got at the bottom, cancel, which will delete all the work we've done. Start the session, so the session will start automatically and pop open. But what I really want to do now is schedule the session. Here we are. I can add it to my calendar if I've got an Outlook calendar, but I'm on Google Calendar, so it doesn't work, sadly. I've got the information detailed here. I click OK, and I can revisit what I've done with my session by clicking on my Webex, all my meeting, and you can see that there is two meetings, the one with the green dot, that's the one that's currently running, and this one that we've just created. If you click on the blue link, you can edit the content. Just make sure that all the information is correct, date and time, participants. You've got the details of the meeting where you can share it. If something needs to be changed, you can choose edit, change the title, change pretty much everything, update. If you were to make any changes, never send it to the participant except if it's a key change like time. If it's just updating a photo, updating participants, just click on to no one. Otherwise, people keep receiving a message and they get upset and they don't know which message is the correct one. So it's best to avoid duplicating messages. We send a reminder 24 hours before the session and half an hour before it starts. Here we are. Now my session is ready. On the day, I will just have to click on the green button and my session will be ready to go. I hope you find this video helpful. If you have any question, feel free to contact me and I will be more than happy to answer your question and clarify some question you may have about setting up a Webex session.